Today I'll be talking about an important part of political communications, which is the importance to not simply be in opposition, but to mostly be in proposition. And I know that the right says and does stuff that just drive us bananas, and we absolutely feel the need to respond, to object, to denounce stuff, and that's absolutely normal. And I count myself in those that have this reflex. But when we do that all the time or too often, some problems can come from that. Number one, the right knows how to push our buttons, and they use that sometimes very efficiently. But as Admiral Akbar would say, it's a trap. Number two, if you're constantly just reacting to what other people are doing, that leaves you less time to work on your issues, to present your solutions. Number three, when you're opposing something, when you're reacting to something, you almost unavoidably are doing it in the context of the other person's frame instead of building your own frame. And I'm sure that some people who have read George Lakoff, Don't Think of an Elephant, know what I'm saying. Number four, we've been put in a defensive position for too long. When you paint yourself into a corner, then the only thing that you can do is react. But that's not the way to win. The way to win is not to be reactive, but it is to be active and proactive. Number five, when we constantly criticize and oppose what others are doing, although it's very, very often justified, I think there's often a perception in the public that the only thing we can do is to criticize or to oppose. And that's not a perception that we want to put out there. So someone may ask me, Pierre, do you mean that we should never denounce or oppose what the right is doing? Of course, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that the best way to oppose what you don't want is to propose what you do want. That the best way to defeat the right wing's ideas is to put forward and to promote our ideas. Our values as social democrats and democratic socialists are fundamentally positive: common good, solidarity, reducing inequalities, building an inclusive society, proposing a Green New Deal. These are positive messages. So let's be positive and let's move forward with our message. And I'm sure that some of you will think, well, you know, the right constantly attacks us. They spread all kinds of lies, they call us names, and so forth. Yes, it's true. But it doesn't mean we need to be like them. When they go low, we should go high. Now, of course, it is unavoidable that we do need to react, we do need to oppose things, we do need to criticize some of the things that we do oppose. That is normal. But I think it's a question of balance. Some years ago, I'm doing it less today, but some years ago I was doing a lot of speech writing, both for myself and sometimes for others I worked for. And this is a formula I always tried to keep within the speeches I was writing, being 70%, positive and in proposition, and maybe only 30% being more negative or more in opposition. And that's the kind of balance that I guess I would advise people to take, to be mostly positive, mostly in proposing, and to a lesser extent, even though it's necessary, to be opposing. I look some time back, especially with the rise of the alt-right and the neo-fascists in the United States, there was a piece done by Noam Chomsky that created some controversy, where his message was, we do need to defeat fascism, absolutely, but just working within the Antifa movement was a mistake. I'm not sure I agree with him 100%, but I guess he did have an interesting point, saying, don't waste your time just fighting this gang of people, because they'll just bring you down. Use the time that you have to build your own organization, your own base. Build what you want to build, and not just oppose something that obviously justifiably needs to be opposed. But it's all the question of the how we do it. Right now, things are already gearing up towards the 2020 American elections, and there's no doubt in my mind that Trump needs to be defeated. I would almost say at all costs. However, the best way to defeat Trump is not just to criticize Trump. It is to have, hopefully, a Democratic candidate that's going to be a visionary, that's going to be able to mobilize and rally the majority of the people. That's how you win. With everything that is wrong, with everything that needs to be challenged and denounced, with all the things we need to react to, it is important. It is important to denounce. It is important to criticize. It is important to oppose. But it's more important to build on your own base, to organize, to communicate what you do want, to present a positive vision. Ultimately, that's how you defeat what you don't want, by building what you do want. So please like and share these videos on social media. Please hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. These videos can obviously be seen as standalones, but you'll probably get more out of them if you see them within the entire series, Building a Winning Left. So with that, I wish you a good day. See you soon.